quiet now. What do you reckon you did to earn Helia's
Quench your
child?
thirst in the way
'Cause
of the
it
ma-
sure wasn't. Potential for this life.
None of us did anything to deserve a chime. Do not be naive. It is hardly a gift.
Intruder! Ground meat in the Master's sanctum! Scree! Scree! Shows what you know, eh? Master doesn't have friends. Follow me, eh? Take you outside. Stay close and not get hurt. Ground meat skin beast wants to fight, eh? Haven't seen any sports since Master released a cat on second floor.
You're mine! Need something stronger.
That was...
Your orders?
Aye, aye.
So pretty. Could lick crystal until tongue fall off.
Already on it.
slip past me. Let's see what's in here. That'll do it. I'll have this open in no time. As promised. Just a scratch. Not a problem. Already on it. Suits me, don't you think?
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
What you do here? Biped groundwalk filth. What you do here, huh? Why you trouble Yellow Eye 3? His master? Give passphrase or get chewed to mush. Master or not, is good enough for Yellow Eye 3. Yellow Eye 3 happy to serve master. His best imp, huh? First Yellow Eye died, second Yellow Eye died, now his third. Master gave Yellow Eye a number so he would remember which one he was. 4, 5, 6 is all the same to this Yellow Eye. 1 died asking idiot questions. 2 died stealing baubles. 3 is more careful. 3 watches out for kabooms. Pretty crystal. Protect you forever. Go on. Yellow Eye 3 has time for Smelly Groundwalker. Found lying near vault, kept safe for Master. What you want? Is on the lowest level, southeast corner, sealed up like dirty secret. Burglars tried to open, but they turned into food.
Not a problem.
Tell me. Que? Of course.
Why Master need books? Not even taste good.
Already on it.
Butler on second floor lounge tried to eat it again. Master will be displeased.
I'll be damned if I let a soul be used for such foul means. Come with me now, you poor lost thing.
I've got something over here. Let's see what's in here. That'll do it. Have this open in no time. As promised.
He sure hoards enough, doesn't he?
Let's see what's in here. That'll do it. Alrighty.
Machine.
Be fine.
Of course.
Consider it done. Just say I'm on it. Need a hand? I'll have this open in no time, as promised. That'll do it. Already on it. I'll have this open in no time. As promised. I'm fine. Perfectly fine. Just say the word. Quick and quiet.
Your orders? Give me the order. What? We here.
Ready when you are. Not a problem.
I'm listening. Still as you were saying.
Ready when you are. Just say the word. Already on. Not a problem.
My friend, you return. If you require anything at all, you need only ask. Of course you would. Just speak with the steward near the stairs. He will make certain you are treated well.
The cost of enjoying the bathhouse's unique offering is 1,000 copper per session. A prudent question. The bathwaters are infused with hand-refined luminous adra, which promotes a holistic balance of the humors. Because of luminous adra's remarkable qualities, it is also a significant investment to both supply and maintain. Ganor may tell you more if you're curious. He is something of an amateur alchemist, in addition to being a businessman of remarkable skill and insight. Would that it were so. Ganor would make good money, and perhaps I would receive a raise, yes? You, I like. We see eye to eye on many things, I suspect. A small discount for you, friend, for making me laugh. 900 copper.
Most of the avian godlike I've met were poets and singers.
Which one do you think I am?
Oh, someone's egg rolled out of the nest.
Watcher? It's nothing but awakened terror. Soon to pass.
You may want to aim away from our Watcher there if it's gonna pass out of your mouth. Sorry. I know you're going through something there.
You could call it something, all right. Watcher, don't. You see those shambling corpses too? Figured it was a long shot. But I know you see things others don't, so I thought... hoped. You think I'd have learned by now? Hope's just a false light. I see a body of stitched together parts and flayed flesh. It's got 3 heads and 4 stretched limbs. On each of its heads curves 3 white horns from above 3 blind eyes. The beast is big as a mountain, and shambling toward us beneath a sun turned black as slow. I know it ain't really there. Lately, it's been getting worse. Some nights I wake sweaty and shaking. Other times, I'm already awake. I got my eyes wide open, staring down the darkness, watching one lantern after another flickering out. And every soul looks so ripe, darn near rotten with a need for reaping. I sure hope you're right, Watcher. 'Cause if you're wrong... No, I know you're right. God's chosen me. So until I figure out what's needed of me, I'll do my darndest to help you on your path. We'll figure this out together. I'm carrying freeing more souls than I've ever shepherded before. So I don't know that it'll work this time, but used to be. When the dreams were riding me hard, I'd cleanse my soul before gone. If we stop by the temple in Nekataka, I can perform the ritual. Please, I need the relief. It won't take more than a minute under Gon's statue, that's all. Yeah? Tell me what's on your mind? They're there in my head when I sleep. And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear of grit. Happens when I take in a particularly volatile soul. My folks, you might say they're not your typical Aethasians. Sure, they cling to the light more than the darkness. But the war, it touched my family. And it changed them. Killed some. Not that I remember firsthand. The others toughened, turned survivors. That much I saw with my own eyes, even years later. My aunt's the one who taught me about the cycle of life and death, how everything happens in stages. Whether forwards or backwards, from seed to rot to rebirth again, it's all just states of existence and balance. See? That's how I first learned about the slice of Gon within Aethys. After that, I read all the doctrines of Gon, anything and everything I could get my hands on. The 12 books of Nearwith, plus the epistles from the minor prophets. A lot of them aren't a part of today's canonization, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. It's tradition for the youngest born to take up the priesthood of Aethys. Well, I did it in my own way. Of course, though we're few and spread out, most don't keep to temples. Soul shepherding requires travel. Mostly I learned through reading. Any text pertaining to Gon I can get my grubby hands on. I guess it's the nature of light to want to best the darkness. But you can't have balance like that. And it's not like night and death are bad things. Oh, no use in fearing what's natural. Life isn't one long line. It's cyclical. You gotta shed the old to become the new. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening. Yeah, it's best we gotta move on.
Can do. Oh, go on.
You return. What say, friend? Akira, you've restored to us a piece of our history. The Queen thanks you, my friend. We are a step closer to...
Hey, you the Watcher? Archmage, the Great Master, has returned. Invites you to join him at the estate. Says you know where that is. Oh no, Master doesn't tell us imps anything. But whoever has time, you have to make time. Find Master in his study. Don't be late.
Well, that was faster than I anticipated. I had hoped for more time to work with the Queen on her formal apology, but I will have to accelerate our plan. Thank you again, truly. This may be our most meaningful step towards Ukaizo. We just have to pray that Archmage doesn't put hexes on his belongings.
One could view this as an attempt to lure us back to his home in order to brutally murder us for robbing him. On the other hand, no, there is no other hand. He is going to kill us.
Do you look for something in particular? Magico. I fought so hard to get here, but I won't miss a splinter of this place. Hey, Imp! I quit. For what it is worth, I have not enjoyed a moment of our time together.
Huh? Make Master angry? Archmage will grow a turnip in nasty Pasina's mouth. Be safe. Many horrors out there.
Agrasima, I think. Corres. Wherever you're headed, it can't be worse than here.
Goddess.
Facina, here, uninvited. I take it you've moved on from apprenticeships to other pursuits. Excellent. I trust you had no trouble finding the place? Nekitaka is either a testament to the ancient Huana's love of labyrinths, or their hatred of straight lines. Sadly, I did not invite you here for a discussion of city planning. I warn you to stay your hand and treat with me better than you did poor Consulate. But let us get to the business of the hour, shall we? My estate was recently burgled, my vault breached. As I suspected. At the Circle's behest, I'm expected to show restraint in these dealings. You managed not to rouse a peep out of my servants. If nothing else, the lack of disruption is appreciated. I am less pleased about the Harappo epic resting in the hands of those who lost it once before. Did I ask a question? The Circle of Archmage wishes for us to put this unpleasantness in the past with a gesture of good faith. The Circle has expressed concerns about a certain mobile deity. The Deadfire is a fragile place, and a blundering soul drain like Aethys can damage more than just castle keeps. Use a modicum of your imagination. It isn't our desire that you apprehend the deity. That simply isn't practical. We need your help in preparing for the worst possible outcome. We do not worry. We measure, and the resulting value dictates action. You are only involved because it is advantageous for knowledge of the Circle's involvement to remain discreet. The wizard Bikana installed an observatory due northeast of Nekitaka. For your absolution, the Circle asks that you locate her research. That the Circle's concerns are utterly unfounded, of course. No doubt you'll recognize the appropriate documents. You have an eye for valuables. She vanished from academic research, and therefore her livelihood. All signs point to her lab being abandoned. Were the spoils of my estate too meager? Absolutely not. Fair warning. A vessel flying the sigil of the Torn Bannermen set a course for the observatory. I have every reason to believe they travel armed. Did I inquire after your personal history? My interest begins and ends at a single point. That someone of great means desires abandoned arcane research. Research which we disregarded. Come back alive. Or not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I have a manor to restore. And a security system to reevaluate.
What all do you write in those reports of yours, Maya? Did you detail the Watcher? What about me?
I may have told the company one or two choice details about you.
For real? You thought me worth noting in your politic papers? Maybe I'll make my temple proud yet.
So you're flattered. Interesting. Guess I'll add that to the next report.
My spine on the Deadfire lines. Tell me where, hey, hoorah, from a deerwood babe to a sailor fine. Hoorah for the Deadfire lines. Now Deadfire.
You crack the spine of the old book, revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. The words recede into the shadows the longer you focus on them. Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides, the air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash. Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help. Watcher, before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. While Barath whispers in one ear and Aether shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise. Insolence will not help you here, child. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker unless a mortal is watching? If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures? What indeed? That would depend on which of us you ask. Our cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter. Judge for yourself, but I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that. So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions. Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Mortals like you come but once in a lifetime. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate. Before I return to Eora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong. To demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future. You speak as if you do. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan. Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos. It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Eora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come. On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic. A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong. Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, that is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority. His approach was sophisticated, indirect. I owe you no explanations on the matter. Besides, you are not worthy to speak his name. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer. You mean gods crafting a godless world? Naturally. My siblings desire to influence mortals and steer them in a proper direction, even if that direction led to places we could not follow. I have no intention of being left behind. Society would unravel without its queen to impose strict order. If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse. Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal. Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived, and it would fall to me to clean up after their mess. Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong. You have learned much already. Only ask if you are ready for the truth. The wheel is our shared responsibility, and each of us serves it in our own fashion. I am the axle upon which the gods balance their power. Aethys keeps the wheel in motion. He was our promise to mortals that time and labor would yield a deserving reward on the next turning of the cycle. At the height of our power, we recognized the potential of the soul. We knew that it could be bound, split apart, diverted like a river, and hammered together. Hammering was trivial. Those of us who agreed with the Apotheosis Project, and many who did not, submitted to a violent and horrible erasure of our individuality. After the dust settled, we adopted the forms of beings from Eora's most prevalent myths. There were other faiths and legends, but we labored to strike their names from history. Much of reincarnation's mechanism exists in the idea space of the beyond. You wouldn't find a wall of cogs and levers unless we conjured one to illustrate a point. The wheel has but one material component in all of Eora. Something we built to channel essence through luminous Adra and into the beyond with reliable continuity. Before we intervened, the flow of essence was directionless, unpredictable. We succeeded in widening the gap, diverting it, giving it an efficient path to follow. Before we took control of the wheel, reincarnation was error-prone, lacking forward momentum. Hollowborn were fairly common, and hardly the worst of the soul maladies. Control gave us the power to strengthen the souls of intelligent kith over generations. We made you wiser, stronger, more likely to develop the society we thought you deserved. Every turning of the cycle demonstrated the righteousness of my belief. Nature begets chaos, and discipline begets perfection. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Wotica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
It was on a cold and stormy night. The snow was on the ground. A sailor boy stood on the quay. His ship was outward bound. His sweetheart standing by his side had many a silent tear. And as he pressed her to his heart, he whispered in her ear, "Farewell, farewell, my own true love. This parting gives me pain. I'll be your own true guiding light when I return again. My thoughts shall be of you, when the storm is riding high. Farewell, my love, remember I'm your faithful sailor boy." It was in ships set sail, he kissed his long goodbye. She watched the craft till out.
I must say, our adventures together have been a welcome change of pace. That we do, but it's more than that. When we first met in the Deerwood, you were struggling for your sanity. Now you're fighting for your soul. I can't imagine the weight of that burden. And yet you've borne it, and more remarkably. I'm glad it appears so, though I'm hardly in the same position as you. The gods have sent you after Aethys, and every power of note in Deadfire has their own plans for you. That puts you in a position of incredible influence. I've known you to be a person of rare kindness. Still, I'm pleased to see that you don't take your responsibilities lightly. If only more people thought as you do. I hope you'll remember this in the days to come. Most birds I've seen leave quite a mess. These are so tidy.
He isn't. In fact, he likes to hide his droppings between grimoire pages.
Just when I thought I needed to relax my personal boundaries.
Here's where I do the ritual. Right there under the statue of Gon. Nothing like a homecoming to make a girl remember her roots, even if they are dried up and half dead. Sometimes I wonder if my brethren don't think I got black ichor running in my veins. Why are you so fond of me, Watcher? Makes me think untoward things. Gives me notions I don't need to be getting. I can't risk straying when I got a duty to Gon. Yeah, lay it on me. I'm ready. I've done this before, but never with such a full lantern. You may want to stand back. The experience can be somewhat intense. Don't know if I feel cleaner, but I feel something. Blessed, for sure. Let's just hope it lasts, because my lantern feels as heavy as ever, full to brimming with essence, like dark water spilling over my mind. I was born to reap souls and lead them to the light. Now with Aethys dead, and these dire visions, I think I need to shield them from a hell gone dark. But the more I gather, the more my mind turns to tatters. That ain't gonna happen. You'd ask me to turn my back on my god? Aethys is dead, and Gon is the death before life. He's the ripeness before the fall. That lumbering hunk of Audra might claim to be Aethys, but that doesn't matter a whit. He died, so he can't be Aethys anymore. Death changes every soul, even a god's. And if it doesn't, it should. Why do you think the god of rebirth held an aspect of death within him? You can't have life without dying. There ain't no beginning without a prior ending. Ain't no day without night, no spring without fall. You can't grow crops if you never harvest for seeds. All right, I'll be right behind you.